everyone's having a great day today. So there are some traits that you want to work on and exhibit if you want God to use you for his kingdom, or if you want to grow with God. These traits, of course, the most popular one, of course, they're coming from Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Those are things, of course, we are supposed to work on. If you need to work on it, for me, I placed those words on a card. I placed it in a picture frame. So I placed it on a flash card, and then I put the flash card in a picture frame that was near my bed. So when I woke up, I saw these words. When I went to sleep, I saw these words, and it just made me think about it more and more and more. So if you do need to work on it, you can try that out. For me, it did work. There were some additional words that God had added for me, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. I wanted to go over all the words, but it's virtually impossible. And not the words are not impossible, but the explanation is impossible to cover quickly. So I think I'm just going to go over these additional words throughout the next few days. We'll see what happens. So the top one that was on my list was steadfast. God said, I need you to be steadfast. So at the time, I didn't have any clue what that was. And so I had to search the Bible, of course. And I found out there are so many scriptures about steadfast. It's basically saying like to be devoted no matter what. The steadfast is to be fully devoted, to not focus on difficulty nor discouragement, unchangeable. One scripture we have here is 1 Corinthians chapter 15:58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain. So yes, more scriptures for steadfast is Psalms 51:10. Create in me a pure heart, God, and renew me a steadfast spirit within me. Another one I have is Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Some examples of being steadfast is if you're starting a ministry, an outreach, or this is my favorite one, homeschooling. So it's basically just saying that your work is not in vain. So if you're working on something, or you're deciding something, or you're being devoted to God, it's not in vain. You are planting a seed for your family. You are planting a seed for yourself. It will grow over time. And one example was homeschooling. So if you're homeschooling kids, most of the time it looks like a chaotic mess. But you always wonder, doing all this homeschooling, is it going to benefit them? Are they really learning? Are they really grasping it? Is this the right decision? So then next thing you know, years go by, and these children remember every single thing you taught them during homeschooling. You just remember the chaos, the grumpiness, the complaints, them fussing at you, kicking at you, but they heard every single word. They remember every single thing. You helped them advance 2 levels just by homeschooling them. That's something they could never get from a public school. Kids learn better from their parents. So the reason why I'm saying this for steadfast is the same thing. Like if you're doing ministry, and let's say you only have 5 people in your ministry, that is still beautiful. You still are teaching certain people. If you are starting something new and it's not flourishing yet, keep going. Be steadfast. Do what God told you to do. Be unwavering into it as well. It says unmoving is what the scripture says. It says unmovable. So those are just some examples. We are supposed to be steadfast, which means fully devoted to God, or fully devoted to what God has called us to do.